Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Mike Barnes trained Robby during the events of Cobra Kai Season 1? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 1 would still happen. Johnny would still save Miguel, and he would still reopen Cobra Kai. Those events would stay the same. Johnny would still train Miguel, so Miguel will learn offense, and much of Season 1 would stay the same. Johnny would still try promoting Cobra Kai, and Robby would still see one of his posters. And much like in the original timeline, Johnny would still try to reconnect with Robby, Miguel would still fight Kyler in the cafeteria, and those events would stay the same. Robby would eventually want to talk to Johnny, so Robby would make his way to the Cobra Kai dojo. This is where he would see Johnny and Miguel. So much like in the original timeline, Robby would still leave, but in this timeline, Robby wouldn't go to Daniel, and he would continue living his life. One day Trey and Cruz would want to get Robby to help them rob a furniture store. So in this timeline, Trey, Cruz, and Robby would want to rob Mike Barnes' furniture store. So Trey, Cruz, and Robby would break into the store, and they would start looting, but this is where Mike Barnes would catch them. And since Mike was alone, Trey and Cruz would want to fight him, but Robby wouldn't want to fight, so they would attack Mike. But Mike would remember his training, and he would use offense to take down Trey and Cruz, and he would easily take them down. Robby would be in disbelief after seeing what Mike had done. Mike would call the police, so the police would show up, and they would want to arrest Trey, Cruz, and Robby. But Mike would take pity on Robby, and he wouldn't press charges against him, so only Trey and Cruz would be arrested. Robby would be surprised, and he would ask Mike why he didn't press any charges. Mike would tell Robby that he could tell that he was a good kid, but that he was just misguided. Mike would tell Robby that in the 80s he used to be a karate champion, but his reputation got ruined, and he was left with nothing. And one day he met his father-in-law, and he gave him a chance and showed him to be better. He would tell Robby that he doesn't need to keep stealing, and he would offer Robby a job at his store. Robby would be grateful, and he would accept, so Robby would start working for Mike, and the events of Season 1 would continue. Robby and Mike would start to form a bond, and eventually over time, Mike would decide to train Robby in karate, so Robby would start learning offense, and the events of Season 1 would continue. Miguel and Sam would still date in this timeline, but since Robby never met Sam, Miguel and Sam wouldn't break up, and they would stay together. Since Daniel didn't train Robby in this timeline, Daniel and Johnny would start to become friends. And the night of the All Valley, Cobra Kai would still compete, and they would start winning their matches, but in this timeline, Robby wouldn't compete, and the tournament would advance. Miguel and Hawk would fight in the finals, but Miguel would defeat Hawk, and he would be the All Valley champion. Carice would still come back in this timeline, and those events would stay the same. Season 2 would carry on. Johnny would still try to reconnect with Robby, but Robby wouldn't want anything to do with Johnny. Robby would tell Mike about Johnny and how he runs Cobra Kai. Mike would recognize the Cobra Kai name, and he would be worried. Mike would tell Robby that he used to be in Cobra Kai and how Cobra Kai ruined his life. Robby would be surprised, so Mike would want to go confront Johnny at the Cobra Kai dojo, and Robby would go with him. So Mike and Robby would show up at the Cobra Kai dojo, and Johnny and Carice would be surprised to see them. And that is where I'm going to end part 1. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Mike Barnes trained Robby during the events of Cobra Kai Season 1? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.